Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm Steven Rogers.
I'm Andrew Chavone. Hello out there, fellow panickers.
I like calling them the Panickers. Good to see you, buddy. How are you?
Good.
I didn't mean to talk to you mid sip.
No. This is real time me waking up. So
Oh, really?
we plan to record at noon on Saturday. That's usually my sleepy day, and so I set an alarm for 11:50. I texted you right when the alarm went off. We still good? You said yes. So then that's why I got on at 12:10 because I was waking up and making coffee.
I'm sorry, buddy. I appreciate you meeting this early.
Well, I was hoping you'd be like, "Oh, how about 12:30?" You know, like I don't know if sometimes when we plan to record, you need a little more time. So
Right.
I was, but it's all good.
Oh, always let me know it's sleepy day. I need to do it later. That's
Well, then I
fine.
would have just kept sleeping, and then the same thing would have happened. If you said 12:30, I would have woke up at 12:20 and got coffee and woke up and then logged in at 12:40.
Good to know.
It would have been a
Oh,
cycle
man.
of being late, but
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Well, it's good to see you. Thanks for getting up.
yeah, no problem, everyone. And I got some questions about this, and I want to say the supplements combined with this new sleeping technique I do, which I'm not entirely sure I told you about, where
I know about your supplements. I don't know about the new technique.
yeah. So if this is your first episode and you're having trouble with sleeping, this is. I had trouble with sleeping the whole pandemic, and sometimes I wouldn't be able to sleep at all. I'd be up to like 4 a.m. or whatever, and
Right.
I have to wake up at 7. And I started taking these supplements of magnesium, D3, vitamin D,
Mm-hmm.
valerian root, and melatonin, and
Yes.
then I saw this video where the Air Force or something, they wanted their pilots to be fully rested and they only had a little time to sleep, so they like designed this sleep thing where they make the pilots relax every muscle on their face and then relax their shoulders,
Uh-huh.
and that tells your brain, okay, it's safe to rest.
Wow.
I guess because usually when I'm asleep, before I go to sleep, my brow is completely furrowed, like what did I do all day?
Like you're trying to read that eye chart from the
Yeah.
last episode.
Right, that's a good callback. Yeah, exactly. So I guess if subconsciously, if your brow is furrowed and your face is like just looks like you just tasted a lemon, then,
Right.
then they're like, oh, something's up here. You're not ready to sleep.
Well, I notice, and I think this is typical of people with anxiety, is my shoulders are always up.
Always, yeah.
Always up. Like I'm constantly shrugging, like, I don't know. Like, and I don't know if it's like subconsciously protecting my neck or I don't know what it is.
I hate to. I know we referenced the Brian Regan bit in the last episode. Doesn't he have that too? Or maybe another comedian where they just, when it's raining, somebody just has their shoulders up,
I know
and they're
somebody
like,
has that.
who is that protecting, just in case your earlobes are sensitive to water?
I know Moody McCarthy has something similar. Maybe it's him. I don't remember. There's a couple people that have the stupid things people do in the rain, and
I think
I
Brian
always
has one of
love
them. I might be wrong, but
I'll
you
ask
know.
him tonight. I see him tonight.
ask him tonight. Yeah. Do you have a bit about what people do when it rains and they don't have an umbrella? I think it was on this Radio City Music Hall one, but
Oh, maybe. I don't remember. It's so funny though.
oh yeah. So, yeah. My shoulders are tensed all the time too.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. That's why I like to wear layers, because then it doesn't look like people are like, oh, maybe that's not his shoulders. That's just a thick jacket. But it is my shoulders.
Yeah, maybe that T-shirt has elbow pads.
Right? Yeah. Right. Maybe
Shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he's late for football practice.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe he's not tense
Well,
as hell for no reason.
I know Dr. Deb's husband tried to get you into football, but
Yeah, he had me in football pads look like
you
I
trying
don't
to
know.
sleep.
It looked like when the king's son wants to be a knight. You know, they put him in the big armor.
Oh man! So have you tried this technique? Is it working?
It's been working, yeah. Sometimes it takes me a little longer than others, but oh, and then here's the third cherry on top. I saw a different video about. So these are 3 techniques I've Voltroned into a night's rest.
Right.
The third video I watched, you should try to keep your eyes still, like forward facing, even with your eyelids closed. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Because the video said if your eyes go to the side, it'll make you can't. It's impossible to think about something if your eyes are straight. I guess like when your mind is thinking about something, the eyes go to the left or to the right.
That makes sense because when I'm driving, I'm like, what am I doing? and 4 hours have passed. 'Cause I'm just
Oh
staring
right, yeah,
straight
because
the
you're
whole
not
time.
thinking, right? Because your
Yeah,
eyes are
yeah.
straight.
Yeah,
That's a good point. That there might be something to that.
I bet you there's like, that's why they're like, hey, like, be aware of your surroundings. Otherwise,
Otherwise, you won't have any memories.
You're gonna fall asleep. Keep your shoulders up the whole time you're driving. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. So those are the 3 things I've been doing, and they've been working. So
That's great.
usually I wake up in the morning on Saturdays because, like, you know, one sunbeam got through the curtains, and you know
That happened to me today.
Oh, really?
I woke up before the rooster. I'm like, what's going on? And
Where are you? Where are you? The hotel barn? Are you getting ready for an Alice in Chains song? Here come the rooster.
I woke up just because the sun was creeping through my curtains like a peeping Tom.
Yeah, that's what always usually happens. You know, on my sleepy days, sometimes they're foiled by Mr. Sun, who comes through the one gap, you know, that the
Yeah.
AC kind of pushes away, so the sun comes right in my
Oh
eye.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I'm doomed. It's like 8 in the morning. I almost texted you asking if you could record at 8, and then
Oh wow.
and I was like, all right, let me try this technique and see. And it worked. I was able to fall back asleep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it just took me like 10 minutes, but
Now, are you gonna ease out the supplements, or are you gonna keep all these things going at once?
well, I don't know if they all are needed, so I will keep doing all of them. Yeah.
Right.
For now. So, yeah, that's. I'm not ready to wean off anything. This is just
No,
this has been at like 2 weeks or 3 weeks of this.
Right. Wow. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you're resting finally.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting is, you know, when you're ready to lose weight, you see a bad photo of yourself where you're like, oh my god, I look this big. Like, I didn't realize that, because when you look in the mirror, I don't think
Yeah.
you really see the real you. You're just sort of like, oh yeah, my hair looks great, and then
yeah. You just start focusing the higher up that you can.
right, yeah. My tips are not split at all. These ends are good. And then when you see like
Not
the
my
photo-
rear end, but these ends.
right, yeah. And then you see like a photo of somebody else took at a party, and you're just in the background, and you're like, ugh.
Yeah, you you can't tell where the couch starts and you end.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So I didn't realize how sleepy I was until somebody took a photo of me, or I did an HD video podcast, and I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, those bags under my eyes. Never noticed those.
They wouldn't even fit in the overhead.
Right, yeah. I had to pay extra for those on
Yeah, you'd have to-
Frontier Airlines.
You'd have to check your eyeballs. Well,
Check
right
your-
now,
That sounds like an old promotion for like a movie night on a cable TV channel.
Yeah.
Check your eyeballs at 8 p.m. because we got the Godzilla versus the praying mantis. Check your eyeballs on this channel.
Well, check your eyeballs and sit on down. You look rested. I mean, the way your light is whenever we record, it always looks like you're healthy.
Yeah, and also looks like I don't have a nose, so that's pretty healthy.
But yeah, you look good.
Thanks, man. So, what are you? You look like you're at a model center or something. You know, like one of those art centers where they bring the model in and they unrobe.
Oh, like where people sketch you in the nude?
People sketch you in the nude, yeah. That's what you look like. You look like you're about to unrobe in front of a class.
Yeah, you think you look tired. What you can't tell is I'm naked from the waist down, and this room is full of students trying to get their degree.
Yeah, where are you? What is this? This is the biggest. Biggest curtain I've ever seen.
Well, I'm at the Borgata, and
a lot of nude there.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you gamble enough,
you have a shirt off your back.
Yeah. Behind me is entirely skyline, and the sun is just coming through, and it was messing with the camera angle, so I drew those curtains.
Wow.
But
what do you see? I know the Borgata's off the strip a little bit, right? So I guess you see everything.
I see like wetlands.
Oh yeah, the other side.
Yeah.
They put the opening act with the other side view.
Yeah. They have me facing all the people that didn't pay the sharks on time.
You're just looking at a mafia disposal center.
Yeah. I had to put a sign on my window that says I didn't see nothing.
I didn't see nothing if you didn't see nothing.
Man. But yeah, so I'm at the Borgata, one show tonight with Brian, and then I head back to the city.
Did you do a show last night?
No, I always have to be here a day early, so I had to get here yesterday.
Wow, that's crazy. He's there for one night. I mean, I guess that's the old theater then. I mean,
yeah,
he's back to like big theaters.
Yes,
that's great.
Yeah, it should be fun. We're going to a cool restaurant tonight. I'm excited. That's in the basement of a house. It's like this famous Italian restaurant where it's like impossible to get in, and it's like, I don't know, there must be only like 10 tables or whatever.
Oh my God. Because I was going to recommend a sandwich place.
Oh, I mean, I got to have lunch.
If you want to have lunch, this place is so good. But not to cut off your story, but I've never heard of this place, the Italian place. I
haven't either. I don't even know what it's called. It might be just called Mark's Basement.
Do you know where it is? Like, is it near the hotel, or do you have to take a
It's like
taxi?
10 minutes from the hotel.
Wow.
So it's crazy. Our reservation is exactly when Brian gets off stage. So he's going to do like a full like Elvis thing. As soon as he says goodnight, we're in a car.
That's so cool.
It's going to be
crazy. Has he ever done that?
He's probably done it, but I don't know if I've done it with him before. I'm going to feel so cool just doing that myself.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Pulling up to an exclusive restaurant.
Yeah, I'm excited. Should be fun.
Wow.
Man, but we got to
making me hungry. And I had spaghetti yesterday. I mean, it came in a can and said beefarino, but I ate it.
I think that might be the restaurant. Beefarino's Basement.
Beefaroni's Basement. Welcome to Beefaroni's Basement.
We gotta do our topic up top. Top topic.
This is your first time listening, everyone. That was just the introductory portion of the podcast. Now we're going to get into just a couple listener people because we tweet, send us what made you anxious.
Yeah.
We're going to get into them. Then we're going to talk about what made us anxious this week. And then we're going to get into more listener topics, as many as we can before we run out of time.
Yes. And you can tell we have social anxiety because we say, all right, now I am done with my introductions.
Yes, no smooth transitions here. I do that at parties, too. Now I am done with the greetings.
And now I will talk about the weather.
Now I need a drink. Which way to the bathroom?
Have you guys tried Beef Areno's Basement? All right.
That'd be really funny for a sketch. It's like, one of those fancy commercials where they like zoom in on the dim lighting tables and the candles, and they zoom in on a couple cheersing with champagne flutes. And then the voiceover says, Beef Areno's Basement. And the waiter just comes to your table, opens a can, and pours it in a bowl, and it's not even warm.
And it shows him walk upstairs and sit back down on the couch.
Yeah, the kitchen is just a cupboard or whatever.
A microwave.
Yeah, because you don't even need a can opener for those.
I
Pop them open.
I love the idea of it seeming fancy, and then the name is just the silliest name. Come down to Piscetti's.
Piscetti's. Yeah, I think Tim and Eric did one where they have a character called Spaghetti, and then he's the guy with like spaghetti sauce always on his face. I can't remember if he owned a restaurant or.
All right, our first topic is from Shelly Girl, trying to unravel the process to get my daughter's RESP funds for school. If it was any more complicated, I'd have to marry it and divorce it.
Marry and divorce RESPC funds? Well, I don't even know what that is.
RESP.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what RESP is. I'm going to look it up.
I know I don't get any of it.
Here, let's have you guess what it is, and then I'll read the definition.
All right. And here's Rodney Dangerfield explaining it. I don't get any of this RSPC. My mom never breastfed me. She said I was too ugly.
So RESP are tax advantaged accounts designed to help Canadian residents save for higher education.
Wow, this is really a reach for us because you didn't go to college and you live in America.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, she came to the right place for all the advice.
I had to join the Army to get money for the college, so.
The only thing you have in common is the acronym began with R.
Yeah, ROTC, RSPC.
So, Shelly, the only thing in all sincerity, the only thing I have that relates is I get confused with stuff.
That's a big relatable thing.
Yes. So whenever I'm confused, I usually, I go to Andrew a lot of the time to read any contract ever.
Usually it's too late. Usually you're like, I just signed this. Is this okay?
Not when it's my contract.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I would go to someone that may be in education or in taxes or any sort of thing, and I would certainly bring every document in front of them and have them look at it.
Yeah, this is my advice to you, and this is what I always do when I don't know something. I will look at weird internet forums, because if you Google things, the first results are always like sponsored crap.
Ads, yeah.
They're like
so annoying.
Ads hidden as advice. Having trouble with RSPC ads? Click me. And you're like, yeah, I am having trouble.
Come down to Beefarino's basement.
And then it's Beefarino's basement. It's RSVP buttons for Beefarino's basement. You're like, this doesn't help me at all.
But I am hungry.
But I am hungry, and beef Reno does sound good right now. The cold noodle with mystery meat.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I do not look Google. I go to like the 5th results and look for like some kind of forum discussion. There's probably some kind of parents forum from like, or you go on Reddit and you get the search bar on Reddit. That doesn't always, that never comes up on Google. So probably different moms. I don't know if that's popular in Canada though. I do that for American
Reddit has been very helpful lately. Reddit seems like it's all the people that were wronged coming together.
Exactly, yeah. And they all want to genuinely help for some reason.
Yeah.
It's very rare on the internet because they want to be upvoted. So it's like
right.
the currency of that site. It helps you get real advice. And then also, I also type into Facebook search my problem sometimes if I'm really desperate. And then sometimes there's these groups where people ask questions and that'll pop up. So if you go to search posts in Facebook, you can get like real people having a problem.
Right.
And then you look at their answers too. And I would just get a congregate sum of all these weird advices because there's always like bad advice somebody thinks is good.
Yeah.
Like that. They're like, yeah, this is great help. Just sign up here. It's a 50% interest rate, but it worked for me. I mean, I'm broke, but this kind of worked. I mean, it was a thing I did. It doesn't mean it worked, but I did it.
Right, exactly. Well, best of luck, Shelly girl. We hope it works out.
Yeah, and say hi to your sister, Sherry baby. Sherry baby.
The most important thing to know, Shelly girl, is big girls don't cry. So,
yeah, so don't cry over that.
And if your kid is a son, tell him to walk like a man.
No, that's the other one. And man, God, they were so good. The 4 seasons.
They were good. Yeah, I liked them.
They're a great jukebox song. If you're at a bar, put on 4 seasons. All the old people perk up and go.
They're like a deer when they hear a gunshot.
Yeah. Huh? Frankie Valli.
What?
Did I tell you that happened to me when I first visited New York? That's probably why I said it out to the podcast. But when I was visiting New York, I took the train from Washington D.C. to New York Penn Station.
Right. Yeah.
And my train and I just literally walked around to kind of get a feel for the city.
Sure.
And then my train was at 4 or something, but I was tired from walking because I didn't know how to use the subway or anything.
Right,
so I literally walked everywhere. So there was a bar, like an Irish dive bar by the Penn Station. I went in and it was like literally just like an old guy, a guy wearing Africa garb from Africa. Mm-hmm. And he walked with a cane, and when he came in, everyone was like, "Hey!" And then it was just like, it looked. And then there was like another guy who was like a punk rocker, and then like another guy who was like a young kid, and it just.
What is this? The train scene from Trading Places?
Yeah, and then there was
Happy New Year.
There's a guy who looked like the devil, and a guy who had a yak face, and it was the Star Wars Cantina. But
he doesn't like you. I don't like you either.
But I remember like sitting at a bar by myself, and all these walks of life. I'm from Virginia, where I just see this people who look like me, and then somebody put on Cherry Baby on the jukebox, and everyone, all the people started singing and like,
boom, voodoo.
The guy with the cane started pounding his cane to the beat.
I love this. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
And I was
that's
like-
like Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline, yeah, another one. And I took the train back to home. Like, this is an amazing, magical city.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard Four Seasons at a bar before.
I haven't either.
And then never happened again. I almost think I imagined that. I almost think I got mugged and I was passed out in an alley, and that just played out in my brain.
Yeah,
I'm like
you were
going home with a head injury. Like, wow, New York is great.
you were knocked out by Frankie V in an alley. Wow. Well, let's get into what made us anxious this week. What's going on with you, buddy?
Okay, so this story starts last week. I'm walking outside, and my neighbor. So I have, I live in like a townhouse row where the houses are divided up into like three apartments.
Yeah.
But the house to the left of my house is just all like one family lives there somehow.
Oh.
And when I walked out, the guy who lives in the basement, who, if you listen to an episode around July when I moved in, the realtor didn't tell me there's a guy in the basement. And when I first saw him, I had no idea who he was. I thought he was like the dog walker for the last people who lived here or something. I'm like, can I help you? He's like, I live here. I'm like, no, you don't. I do. I had no idea there was like a room in the basement, but this guy lives there.
Right.
And he was talking to the woman that lives in the house, who I've never really talked to. I mean, I hear her play the Office reruns all day, so that's the only thing I know about her. Is every 20 minutes I'll hear doo 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 doo. Like, how much of this is this person watching? Good Lord. So, and then when The Office was leaving Netflix, I was like, oh, thank God she can't play that anymore. And the next day,
she bought Peacock.
or has the DVDs or something. The next day it was playing again. But so the basement guy, Rob, is talking to the woman who lives in the house, and I'm like, hey Rob, how's it going? I already had crossed the street because I didn't want to walk by them, so I had crossed the street, and I'm walking by them across the street, and he's like, they're filming a movie around here. She just told me they're filming a movie around here. I was like, oh, where? And he goes, Kelly's Bar. Kelly's. And that's the bar in the neighborhood. I'm like, oh, cool.
Oh, okay.
They usually film stuff around it. They film Nurse Jackie there.
Right.
For some reason, I think it's the dive bar in Astoria, Queens. Like, there is no kegs. They only have bottles. They don't even have a fridge. I feel like it's just a cooler. Like, that has beer in it. Like you're supposed to go there just to drink the whiskey that's on the back. You're not supposed to have beer at all. And they have weird decorations per season. So if you go there for Halloween, it's like paper mache pumpkins and stuff that looks like a fire hazard. Like, literally, it looks like a fire hazard every time I'm in there, no matter what the holiday is. So I'm like, cool, all right. And then I'm like going about my day, and I see he's walking the same way, so I kind of like walk the other way, even though I was going that way.
Right.
And cut to like the next week, there's all these cones in front of our house, and it says you can't park there. There's being a movie filmed or a TV show. And I looked it up. It turns out the show is called Dead Ringers. It's going to be on Amazon.
Okay.
Based on a Cronenberg film called Dead Ringers or something. So I'm like, that's weird that they're like have these cones here, even though they're filming like blocks away at the bar.
Right.
And so I had to move my car and all this, and then the cut to like I think it's Tuesday. I'm woken up by somebody saying, I hear out my window, action.
Oh my God.
Literally wake up, and they're in my backyard. They're in the house of that woman. They're like in her backyard.
Oh my God.
She must have got excited and said, "You can film here," or something.
She's like, do any of your characters watch The Office?
Yeah, that's probably why she loves. Steve Carell must be in this.
Wow.
So I hear the action, like all the professional terms, like extras go, okay, rolling.
Right.
And it's like 7 a.m. or something. You know, that's before my wake
Your
up.
sleepy time.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm all pissed, and then
Well, just lower your shoulders.
so I'm like doing work, and I hear them the whole time, like me. Okay, move over there, blocking or something.
Oh,
And
Beaker's in this.
Beaker. So then they disappear. Like I don't hear them anymore. So I'm like, oh my God, it might be safe to like leave my house because this isn't behind my house. So I go in the front of the house. I open the curtain. I'm not wearing a shirt. I open the curtain and literally, I'm not exaggerating. There's a camera pointed right at the window.
What?
There's a camera pointed right at my window. What? And a car drives by and parks in the house next to mine, and that's the scene. The scene was getting this car to park.
God, I hope you're in this.
I hope I'm in this. I must have ruined the scene.
God, I hope there's just a nervous guy with no shirt on.
No shirt, looking out the window.
What?
Because at first I'm like, I'm seeing this woman just like standing outside. I see the camera and I'm like, that's weird. And then I see this woman standing in front of my window. And then they go, extras, moving, or whatever the lingo is. And this woman just starts jumping and walking fast. And then I'm like, it's like hard to process what's happening.
Right.
Because I should have saw the camera and just closed the curtain right away. But there was like...
I can't believe you left it open.
But I didn't know what was happening. I thought they were done filming, and that was just...
Right.
They were waiting for the equipment to be picked up or something.
Yeah, you thought it was that weird company that says action when they're done.
It's the reverse company.
Yeah.
So so I'm looking at right in the barrel of like a HD like professional camera, and then without my shirt on,
And you hear the guy go, "You look tired."
yeah, all right, you need to go back to sleep. Try supplements. And then they say extras, and this woman just starts walking, who I just thought was some real woman. You know, she's good at her job. I thought she was just a walker. And then they go action, and I'm like, huh? And then that's when the car drives, and I see the camera go from my window to the driveway, and I'm like, I think I'm in this scene.
Wow.
And then they said, and then I closed the curtain right away. I can't remember what they did, but then they wrapped up shortly after. So I think that was the scene to set up whatever they did in my backyard.
Wow. You hear the guy go, "We'll cut the nipples in post."
Yeah, they might CGI like something. Maybe they'll CGI curtains or something. Oh, you know what's funny too? I don't know if this is more of a setup to the story, but
Yeah.
this house is like kind of run down, and
Yeah.
they've been like workers. There was a guy like power washing the driveway, and I was like, and then the next day there was people painting the house and stuff, and I just thought she finally wanted to renovate or something.
Right.
But it turns out they're getting it ready for that scene that I'm in.
All right, we got cue the shirtless guy opening the curtain.
Yeah. Extras, cameras, sound, shirtless guy, come on in.
Oh man, hilarious.
Yeah, so that's I can't wait for that show. And I was reading about it. It sounds pretty cool. I wanted to. The movie's on Peacock, Dead Ringers. So I'm gonna watch that later.
Oh, well, you can watch it at your neighbor's house.
No, they only watch The Office.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm excited, but also it was just such a weird thing to process, because you're in your own house. Because you don't, if you're walking down the streets of New York City and you see a film crew, you're like, oh yeah, it's a movie. But if you're in your own house and you see cameras and stuff, you're like, what is going on?
Right,
is this am I still asleep?
My God.
Yeah, so I used to be excited when I first moved here. I used to be excited about film projects, and I didn't really know anything about them.
Yeah, for people that don't live in New York, films are always shot here, and it takes up parking.
The parking is the worst part. Yeah,
streets are blocked off, and you're screwed.
Right. And if they tow your car, I don't know where they move it. They move it somewhere else. Because I'll see, like, in a weird place by the river, a thing that says, you've been towed because of the production of this.
Really? Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they don't tow you to a lot. They just tow you around, like, out of the way.
Oh, boy.
And then I think, like, maybe my first month of living here, I saw they were filming Spider-Man. And
yeah.
One of them, it could have been Garfield. I don't even remember. Garfield the actor, not the cat. That'd be an interesting Spider-Man. And I just stood and watched because I was like, I think this is how they get extras. You just stand and watch, and then they're like, yeah, you look good. I didn't realize there's a whole like process to get them.
Well, you somehow made it work to be in this show coming out.
And I just made it work, yeah, years later. Persistence, everybody. Don't give up on your dreams of becoming a background actor.
That'd be funny if you hear the camera guy go, that's the guy we cut out of Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's the guy that wouldn't leave us alone for 12 hours. And by leave us alone, I just mean stand there.
Oh, man. Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah, what's going on with you, man? I don't know.
Well, this is ongoing, but
okay.
I was up in Syracuse for a funeral, like a wake.
Yeah,
that was held. It was held off because of the pandemic.
Oh, I see. Okay. They just had them in the freezer.
Thankfully cremated, or that place would have stunk. But
you got to make room for the fish sticks. Let's spare this person.
So I go out there to pay my respects and everything, do the family thing, and visit with my parents. And my parents were going to come here to the Borgata with me and come see the show.
Oh, that's right.
Well, my mom, for people who don't know, has MS, and so if she ever gets sick, it does more damage than regular someone that didn't have an ailment.
Does that mean
and
she's immunocompromised or something?
Yes, yeah, that's the better way of wording it. I don't know where I was going, but
well, you did the Wikipedia definition.
Yeah, I did the not college version.
The no slap or whatever, respect.
Yeah, the no RESP.
The no RSP version.
I think it's because I'm American. But so thankfully she never got COVID or anything, and she doesn't have it now, but we had a scare because my mom was having severe stomach problems, like pain, and couldn't stop sweating.
Oh my God.
And we were like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah. We had like 4 fans on her. We had the windows open. We had a guy with a giant leaf. And she was still sweating. And she called the doctor while I was in a Zoom meeting.
Was there small stuff involved? Was she sweating the small stuff?
So, no, big leaf.
Oh yeah, it's Big Leaf,
so,
right?
I come out of the Zoom meeting that I was in, and my mom goes, "My doctor says I have to go to the hospital," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I pack her in the car. My dad takes a separate car, and because we don't know what is going to go down, so we figured we'd have both. And I drive my mom to the hospital, but I'm driving my mom to the hospital, and I'm driving like I need to get her to the hospital. And my
Right.
mom's like, "Hey, slow." My mom's like, "Don't. You shouldn't have done that. Slow down." I'm like,
You shouldn't have done that. Like run the stoplight.
"Yeah, I run a light, and I cut somebody off, and she's like, 'Hey, take it easy.'" I'm like, "You got to get to the
This is
hospital."
an emergency.
She's like, "Where's the fire?" I'm like, "I think in you." I don't know.
Yeah, it's making you sweat.
So I get there, and they won't let me. They will only let one person in the hospital with my mom because of COVID. So
Oh, wow.
my dad goes in, and I'm just sitting in the parking lot with all these other people that aren't allowed to go in the hospital, just waiting. And
These others.
yeah, just sitting in the. It looked like we were waiting for a drive-in movie to start. We were just all sitting in our car.
Oh, the car. Curbside pickup.
Well, they had a designated lot, and I'm just sitting there waiting. And then it was nuts. And then my parents send me nuts and bolts, small stuff, and they send my parents send me back to the house. So I just sitting
By
in
yourself?
my parents' sitting in my parents' house by myself, just freaking out, wondering what's going on. And then
Is that when we were texting?
Yes. And then 8 hours in the hospital goes by. They finally come home. My dad got like a phone that didn't have good reception, so I can't get a hold of them. I call the hospital, and they were thrilled to have me on the phone.
Yeah. Because, they have a designated call center there where they talk to people, like you, I guess. As I was saying that joke, I was thinking maybe they actually do have somebody that
They
just
might.
answers the phones.
As
I
soon
pictured
as
like a doctor going, "Somebody get that," and like one of the surgeons has to go over there.
Yeah, the surgeon's like scalpel, landline, ringtone, answering machine. But hi, you've reached the phone of surgeon Dr. Fine, Dr. Howard, and Dr. Howard.
Hi, you've reached the
anyway.
hospital helpline, sponsored by Beefaroni's Basement.
So my parents finally come home. They sent my mom home, and then we had to go to the doctor the next day. Go to the doctor the next day. They won't let me in again. This time I have to sit and wait in a handicapped parking spot
Oh, wow.
because my mom is handicapped. The car is allowed to be there. I'm waiting to just drive them home, and everybody is looking at me like, who is this jackass parked in the handicapped spot? I had a woman like stop and glare at me, and
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
oh my God. I roll up the windows and duck down like
Like you're
I'm
in
the getaway driver. And it was so uncomfortable.
Well, why were
And
you?
really, it's all about-
Why were you in that particular spot?
It was right by the door that my mom would be coming out of.
Okay, you didn't know when
And-
she would be walking out.
I didn't know when she'd be walking out because both my parents left their cell phones at home.
Oh, gotcha.
Because my parents believe that cell phones should not be with you for some reason.
Yeah, I think.
Why would I bring my mobile phone? Mobile.
Yeah, that's the thing
It's-
where you call your parents and they don't call you back for like a day, and you're like, "What is happening here?"
They're like, sorry, I didn't have my cell phone with me.
Yeah, it's in the other room upstairs, plugged into a wall and and to an answering machine.
Yeah, with a curly cord. So my mom is doing better now. I know some listeners know about this, so I'm bringing that up. She's all right, but she's taking medicine. We don't know what's going on still. The doctors don't know what's going on. It's crazy. And so I've been a wreck. I had to book last-minute travel here to the Borgata. I had to fly.
Oh, my God.
I had to fly from Syracuse to Queens and then get a bus from Penn Station to Port Authority to Atlantic City. And when I go through the TSA in Syracuse, I did every single thing wrong you can do in the TSA because all I was thinking about was my mom.
Is this was because of time restrictions that you flew, or because of just convenience?
Time restrictions.
Oh my God! Wow.
So I get to the TSA. I put my laptop in the bin. I put the backpack in a bin. Somebody takes the backpack out and puts it on the belt. I put my other bag in a bin. They take it out and put it on the belt. I go, I have my water bottle. Can I just empty it out? They're like, just drink it. And I chug a whole water bottle in front of them.
Who are they, frat?
It's all-
Were they wearing fraternity letters?
They had me do it doing a headstand.
Just drink it, bro. Chug, 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 chug.
And then they made me smash it on my head after. So I put the water bottle down. They're like,
TSA's in Greek letters, like the Sigma.
Yeah.
The Tau Sigma.
So then I Tau Sigma Alpha.
Mhm.
I take my. I'm about to go through the thing. They're like, you still have your watch on, you still have your shoes on, and we can see bulges in your pockets. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
And in the front of your pants.
I'm like, sorry, some students are drawing me in Atlantic City. And so then I get through, and they pull my bag to the side.
Oh, man.
And they're checking they go, we got to check your bag. I put all my stuff back in my pockets, put my shoes on. They're going through my bag. I literally think the guy didn't talk to me at all. I literally think he went through my bag just because I packed it like he wouldn't. He just started taking things out and putting it back in. He never looked at anything. He was like, just almost looked like a flex. Then this other TSA guy comes up to me. He goes, what's your name?
Oh, my God.
What? And I'm like, he goes, what's your name? I'm like, Steven Rogers. He's like, your laptop's over there. I left my laptop on the belt.
How do they know it was yours?
He opened it and tried, and the login thing says my name.
He opened it and listened to podcasts that were on there.
He's like, tell your buddy to stop looking at the screen so much. He doesn't need glasses. So then I get on the plane. They bumped me up to first class, and
Wow.
And then I had to take a bus.
Despite
here. It
all
was the whole
that,
thing.
despite all that chaos, you still got the first class?
But I had the very front first class where they don't have a thing. You don't have a seat in front of you, so you can't have any of your bags with you.
I've done
So
that, but you have more leg room, though.
You have more leg room, but you're just sitting there like you have nothing to grab out of your bags.
And by the way, I haven't done that in first class. I did that in Southwest where they don't have a first class, so I'm just in the front of the plane.
Oh, man. Anyways,
Wow.
so that's...
I've never done first class. What do you think? Was that your first time?
No, I'm getting bumped up a lot because I fly so much. So I've been...
Do you do one airline or
flying
something?
Delta, yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's
the other fraternity.
Yeah. It's a triangle. Did Joe List tell you to do that? Because I know he does that.
Joe List, when I fly with him, he rubs it in my face that he gets bumped before me.
Man, that's so cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So you've done first. They got bumped up more than once?
I've been bumped up the last couple times I've flown.
That's like a fantasy of mine. I mean, even though I don't fly one airline or have any kind of membership, I'm always like, maybe.
Well, get a member. You can do it.
Yeah, but I always fly the cheapest one available. You know, I don't.
Well, then, yeah, you're never going to be up there.
So then I tried JetBlue. I signed up for their program or whatever, but then I complained about the flight or something, and I think I'm
Yeah,
kicked out.
A JetBlue.
JetBlue. That's my one review. 2-word review. So
Oh,
what's it
man.
like? I've never been in first class. Is it paradise on Earth? Like, what is it like?
It's good. It's more leg room. The seats are more like a recliner. I mean, they don't have the leg thing that comes up, but it just feels like a better chair. There's
was it?
cup holders.
Was it in those like weird round chairs? I saw those on my flight.
No.
Like they're
No, I don't work for MI6.
the first class when I was there was like these individual lanes with like this rounded chair that can go all the way back and turn into a bed.
No, it's a flight from Syracuse to New York.
Oh.
It's only 40 minutes.
Oh, this plain small, right?
Yeah. No, I had a king size bed and guy behind me had a hammock. It was
I was walking by them like, wow, what a life.
yeah.
You know,
That-
I was like, what do they
It's
do?
like that
for-
Regan bit.
What do you mean?
We're making money right now when everybody's already on their computers when you walk on the
Oh my god, so great.
yeah.
He could put that in. Oh, I think he's already done that on a record, but he has that new airline chunk that he's been doing about the songs.
Oh yeah. Oh no, yeah, that's on Radio City.
The songs one,
Yeah, the songs one is so funny.
but the first class one, is that on Radio City too?
The first class ones I think is on I Walked on the Moon.
Oh yeah, we're making money right now.
Yeah. I walked by Joe once when he was in first class and I was in the back of the plane, and he said Brian's bit to me as I walked by. He goes, "I'm making money right now."
I would have laughed the whole plane.
I did. I laughed all the way back.
Oh man.
One time I had to walk by Sam Morril and Anthony DeVito on a flight.
And they were in first class?
And they were up front,
Oh.
but maybe not first class. And my head was just down, hoping they wouldn't see me. I was in the back of the plane. I had to push the drink cart. I was so far back. All right, we should.
Did they
do the,
see you?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
Or they did, and we're being nice. But we got to do the topics and wrap up here. We've got 3 topics. These are the topics you can write in, and we about what makes you anxious, and we cover them at the end. And if we don't get them, we cover them in the beginning. Scotty wrote he's starting college for the first time in 10 years next week.
Wow. Scotty, good for you, man.
Yeah. I know why he's going to college, because Scotty doesn't know.
Well, I hope you're majoring in beam up technology, because I hear that's in high demand for people with your name.
Well, that's awesome, Scotty. I hope, I wish you the best of luck. I think, by your picture, you look young, so maybe nobody will know that it's been 10 years, and also it doesn't matter.
And Scotty, I promise you're not going to be the oldest one at the college. Like when I was
I think Frankie Valli will be there.
Yeah, when I went to state school, there was like people with gray hair who I think just want to do it to get out of the house or something. Like I don't know why they're there,
Right.
but there's like really old people there. So compared to them, you're gonna feel young.
Yeah, and don't be nervous. You're bettering yourself. That's great that
And-
you're.
And plus, I don't
Going
know.
out
I
there.
hope you're not staying in a dorm or something. That'd be so funny.
Yeah, that'd be. That would stink. Hopefully, you're commuting.
I do not recommend the dorm for somebody who possibly is 22, or I'm sorry, 32, because it's you can only live in a dorm if you're 18. I feel like.
It's in hindsight unbearable living.
The beds,
I-
you have a twin bed. You only can eat through a microwave, and I don't know. Then you have to share space with somebody up close.
It's awful. But yeah, best of luck, and that's great. Congratulations, Scotty. Coda wrote COVID-19 and the Delta variant.
I've been seeing this a
Is
lot.
making them-
I mean, everyone,
Yeah.
in this, I think we may have talked about this last episode, or maybe I just said it to somebody else, but I have like the same kind of, I'm saying the same things out loud that I did before the real pandemic.
Right.
Remember when the real pandemic happened and it was in China? I'm like, that's not a big deal. And then when it started coming over here, I'm like, well, it's still not a big deal,
Yeah, the market. Every time you said a thing, it would happen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm like, they're not going to lock. It's not like we're being locked down, and then the next day it was locked down for 2 weeks, and I'm saying these same things. Like, I'm like, the market is still up, and we're not locked down, and oh God.
Well, the only thing I would say is focus on what you can control, Coda. If you've been vaccinated, and people close to you that you love are vaccinated, you're protecting yourself and your family.
And
your loved ones.
if you get vaccinated, everybody, you're protecting against a future lockdown because it's proven they do work. And if the news is saying that it's a plague of the unvaccinated right now. It's going
Yes.
through all the states that don't want to get vaccinated, and there's a lot of people the arguments against the vaccine are it's the most divisive topic happening right now, and it's being ramped up by politics because they want to see Joe Biden, like the Republicans want to see Joe Biden fail, and to do that,
Right.
they want the market to crash and everyone to be inside, and then saying like, we told you so, but it's just trust scientists and doctors. Like, what is going on here? What is going on here?
It's really upsetting and insane. But all we can focus on is what we can control. So, obviously, if you're worried about it, you're probably vaccinated or scheduled to be so. I guess just spread the word.
And I was thinking,
not the virus.
Yeah, I was thinking like, what can make people get vaccinated? And I made that joke. I do it on stage now where I say, tell people not to get vaccinated. Then they'll be like, well, I'm not trusting this. I'm going to get it. And
I'm no sheep.
No one will tell me what not to do. But I feel like that's the only solution right now is to tell people not to get it. But whatever, everybody.
It's unfortunate, but I remember them saying in the beginning, some people, it didn't dawn on them that this could be real until it affected their circle or them personally. And I don't want that to happen to anybody. I don't wish that on anybody, but that might be the way people start to take this seriously.
And I was debating a comic who's anti-vaxxer, and they would not listen. They're like, well, I know somebody who got the vaccine. They're not telling everybody everything. I know somebody in the hospital because of blood clots, and I'm like, that was disclosed. We know that. It's not. They didn't cover that up. That was a Johnson & Johnson vaccine. There's two.
Right.
There's others, and whatever. And he's like, oh, but I saw this YouTube video of this nurse who said that she got it and still got sick, and I'm like, that's one person. I really understand.
Yeah, you could still get sick. It just doesn't do as much damage.
Yeah, you won't need a respirator. And and then they say, I saw this woman who I've known a long time say, how is it safe for us if we can't even give it to our kids? And I'm like, a lot of things can't be given to your kids. Cigarettes and alcohol.
Alcohol.
Are you going to quit those because they can't be given to your kids? It's like the arguments are insane, and they just don't. They're just stubborn, I feel like. And I know it's a very divisive topic. So if you're an anti-vaxxer and offended by this, then I don't care. I mean, I'm over this at this point because our livelihood depends on things being open, and you're messing us up. So
yeah, we're not ones for confrontation, but this is how we make money.
The Brian Regan Theater is open, and
Yeah. I need to keep flying Delta.
The Delta variant.
How is Andrew gonna sing the Four Seasons in a bar in New York City if it's in the lockdown.
Yeah, exactly. So get on it, everyone. Right now in New York City, if you get vaccinated, you get $100. So at least you can buy some cigarettes or whatever you need to put
Right.
other things you think are
And other stuff your kids can't have.
other things you think are healthier than the vaccine. Put those in your body.
Man, we got one more here. The bossy mayor lacking patience. Is a lot going on. I welcome the changes, but they are not happening quickly enough.
Welcome. What
That,
changes? I don't know.
It's vague, but I still relate. You think you have something coming up, but it's taking it forever to show. To beat that time because you're excited about it, and I'm very impatient. Bossy mayors, and it's a practice, and you only get better with each time that you have to be patient.
Yeah, bossy.
My experience.
Yeah, changes don't always happen instantly. You don't always have a film crew outside of your house when you wake up. It takes some time there.
Yeah, I mean that Andrew just didn't have that happen. It was years of work.
Yeah, there was prep behind the scene. There was casting, and there's central casting. There's offices where they have auditions and stuff. So
Why do you think he intermittent fasted all this time? He knew he had that big scene coming up.
yeah, I had to get in shape. Too bad I didn't tan. I think there's going to literally be a conspiracy that there's a ghost in the frame if they use the shot where I'm not wearing a shirt.
Oh man. Well, yes, patience is hard, but that's good that you got a lot going on, that you're busy, and it's hard to not have. It's good that you have a lot going on. That means that you're probably vaccinated and and safe.
Yeah. So keep it up.
Yeah.
Keep up the shots.
But yeah, that's all our topics. You got anything, Andrew, before we wrap up?
I just want to say, everybody, that everyone worried about the next lockdown. We survived it before, amazingly. Whoever's listening, survived the lockdown in some way. I mean, so if another lockdown happens, it's not the end of the world. We'll get through it. It's just mad that this time it's preventable completely. So
Yeah.
that's all I was upset about. But
Understandably so.
I think we'll be okay. I know. I mean, peg me to the last episode in March where I said we'll be fine and there's not going to be a lockdown, and there was. But I really don't think there will be another lockdown. I think it'll be regional, Mississippi. But then those governors don't want to shut down anyway. So who knows what's going to happen to everybody? But I think New York will be safe. But because we're 60% vaccinated.
Yeah.
And people worried about the Delta variant, or the Delta variant, the vaccines work against it. People worried about the new Lambda variant. They don't even know what that is, but the Delta is more prevalent, so Lambda is a little weaker or something.
Yeah.
It's just a different word. It's a different Greek letter. So
Just get vaccinated, everyone. It's all you can do right now, and try to be understanding, but convince people that you love that aren't getting it to get it.
it's literally impossible to change their minds. So don't get worried if you can't change anyone's mind. I've tried. It's literally nothing you say will make them go, oh yeah, because they've done hours of YouTube stuff.
Right.
You saying things is they've already made up their mind. And I don't know
Of
what
course.
it's going to make up their mind. I don't know. I mean, it's going to have to be mandated, but I don't know if that'll even work. But all right, everyone. So on that note, we'll wrap up. Sorry, it's my coffee just
That's all
kicked
right.
in on that one.
Well, we love you, everybody. Thank you for listening. Stay safe out there. We will have good things are coming. It's going to be all right. We're going to be okay. By the way, November 5th and 6th, I'm recording my album in Jamestown, New York.
My God.
Just announced today. The tickets are on sale. Please come. You have to have proof of vaccination to get to the show. So there's your reason, everybody.
I know. The people who don't get vaccinated, they only laugh at poop jokes. So we don't want you in there anyway.
They're going to hate that clean hour. What the hell? Oh, my mom's calling me. Uh-oh. All right, I got to wrap up so I can find out if she's okay.
All right.
But thank you, everybody, for listening, and stay tuned for the outro.
Stay tuned, everyone.